Hey everybody, it's Kevra.
That's me, I'm Kevra, and Super Mario Party Jamboree is the perfect Mario Party game. Excluding this extremely long list of updates it desperately needs.
Now so far, I've spent over 130 hours in this game.
Why are you asking if I have a life or friends? You know I don't, that's why I'm here on YouTube.
So clearly, I don't hate this game, I just think it needs some fine-tuning.
Like I said, long list, very long list, very long list.
So to be perfectly clear, I do like Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's not in my top 5 favorite Mario Party games. But if they did some of these updates, it might be number 5. Because I do think this game has a lot going for it. It's just, it has some short sightings that keep it just as not one of my personal favorites. For example, I think the board selection is pretty great. Other than Mega Wiggler's Tree Garden Party thing, whatever that crap is, I think all these boards are pretty damn good. The mini games, on the other hand, it's really weird because before Jamboree came out, I would have said the mini games usually don't matter because I think the mini games are always a good selection. You always have really great mini games, good mini games, meh mini games, and a few bad ones. But Jamboree's mini games are just kind of Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think they're all bad. I definitely think there are some good ones, but at the same time, there's a lot of ones that I don't really like. Like, the list of like mini games that I don't really find that fun are much longer than what I would say for a typical Mario Party game. In fact, I would go ahead and say that this is the worst mini game list on a home console Mario Party game. And it's not even that some of these games are just terrible, some of them just take too damn long. Hot Cross Blocks is a perfect example where it's like the minigame itself isn't necessarily bad. I mean, it's not my favorite kind of minigame, but at the same time, what really drags about that minigame is when people are continuously picking the same things over and over and no one's progressing. And it just feels like the minigame is stagnant and nothing is happening. So you just do something simple like add a time limit or you make the path like half the distance. I don't know, you just do something to not make it feel like, oh, we're just spinning forever here because people just keep guessing the same answer. Thwomp the Difference is another one that I don't mind the concept of, but it just feels like it drags on way too long to spot the difference. You've got to watch the thwomps go up and down. They reveal half of whatever the fruit is, and then they go back down, and then they reveal another half of a fruit, and then go back down again. And to be honest, I don't think I'd even mind how long the rounds were if there was only 3 of them. Like, there's just too much dead time when you have 5 rounds and you're just kind of waiting for the answer to reveal itself. Of course, that's not as bad of a sin as Tricky Turntables, which has 7 rounds, and I don't know why it has 7 rounds. That is just... First off, I don't think the game is very fun, just because you're really just jumping back and forth meaninglessly up until the very end when people actually make their decision. Like, I don't care what the other team is doing for the first 8 seconds of the round, because it's probably gonna change by the very end. I only care about what they're doing at the very last second, and even then it's like, well, I mean, they could easily jump off or jump on at the very like last possible second. So it's like, who cares? Like, you're kind of just guessing what they do anyway. So the fact that we have to wait so long and then play 7 rounds on top of it just makes this game really drag. Like, the obvious way to fix this game is just to have like a 3-second countdown. And you gotta be quick, you gotta be impulsive, because really, that's what the game actually is. There's just 8 seconds of waiting until that moment finally happens. Because again, the first so many seconds of each round do not matter. You are just killing time, wasting time, and you feel it. And while there are other normal mini games I could go over and talk about their length of time or just little fixes that they could do, the length of a normal mini game still pales in comparison to a showdown mini game, which I have to admit, a lot of them are fun, but again, they just go on for way too long, especially whenever you have it set up where a Jamboree buddy can so easily be stolen, and you might not even care about the outcome, because it's just, there's someone right behind you, they're gonna go on the next turn, and so it doesn't even matter that you win them, because as soon as the next person rolls, the buddy you just earned is gonna get stolen anyway. Now, of course, there are little exceptions here and there, like, well, okay, I'd still rather have the person behind me get him, or I'd rather win him than, Donkey Kong, who's in the lead and all that other kind of stuff. Like, I get that. I get that argument, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where it feels like, does it even kind of even matter? And it's not great to have that feeling while you're playing Waluigi's Pinball for 3 minutes. And hey, don't get me wrong, I like pinball, but why is it 3 minutes long? Why is it that long? I get it, showdown minigame, there's a lot at stake here, The buddies are super kind of overpowered, but at the same time, you don't need to make the minigame that freaking long. But honestly, I wouldn't even mind these minigames being super long if the game in general wasn't so freaking long. I mean, normally when I play a round of Mario Party for 20 turns, it's gonna be an hour and a half if everybody knows what they're doing. If they don't know what they're doing and we're practicing mini games or I'm having to explain things to them, yeah, it's gonna go on longer. But again, typically the runtime for a 20 turn round is about an hour and a half, maybe even shorter than that. For Jamboree, it's a 2-hour minimum, and that's if we're lucky. Usually it runs about 2.5 to maybe even 3 hours long, twice as long as what a normal game should take, and it's like, why? That length of time should be reserved for a 50 round turn, which, hey, you know what? I'm all for playing. I am down to play a 50 round turn that's 3 hours long. I'm not really down to play a 20 turn round that's gonna last 3 hours. Because in a normal 50 turn round of Mario Party, I get to make 50 different plays. I might be spending 3 hours to do that 50 turns, but I am getting to make 50 different strategic plays. But in Jamboree, if I'm spending 3 hours playing a game, I get to make less than half of those choices. I'm still spending 3 hours playing the game, but I get to make half of the plays, and that annoys me. Now, I will admit that part of the cause of this problem I will let slide by. Because for some of these maps, I will say that there's just more to do than what you have typically in a regular Mario Party game. The Rainbow Galleria, for example, there are so many different shops you can swing by and stop at, and there's so many different directions. Like, I get it. That's a little bit more complex of a map. That's fine. But you know what's not fine? The fact that I can't change the player movement speed to make it go as fast as it did in Superstars, as fast as the CPUs go in the same freaking game that I'm playing, Mario Party Jamboree. Like the very first round of Mario Party Jamboree that I played, I was just wanting to pull my eyes out because I thought that I didn't adjust the settings correctly. I was watching these super slow animations of the characters just kind of nonchalantly walking to where they're supposed to get to, which was so much slower than what I'm used to in Mario Party Superstars.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly interrupt myself because I don't know if the animation speeds are slower. As I was editing this video, it kind of looked like they were about the same, but it just takes longer because the gaps are bigger in Jamboree, which is the next point that I bring up.
And what made it even worse was that the boards had bigger gaps between the spaces, and so not only is the character going slower, but then at the same time, they have more ground to cover. Like, if they change nothing else about this game, this needs to be a fix. This needs to be some sort of patch because I just don't understand it. Maybe the waiting on the Switch too. Maybe for some reason, the first generation Switch can't handle the real players going that speed. Even though they can handle the CPUs going that speed, they can't do it for the real players. Don't know why, but you know, maybe that's the excuse. But I am being completely dead serious. When I was on the phone with my friend Zach, we were playing our first round of Jamboree, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is bugging the shit out of me. I can't believe I forgot to change the settings. I thought I did. I thought I made the movement faster. This is driving me nuts. This is absolutely driving me nuts. This game is going on so long. These characters are walking so slow. And then after we got done with the game and I couldn't find it in the settings and I looked it up and I realized you can't change it, I went,
are you fucking kidding me?
Now, by this time, after 130 hours, I've gotten used to it. It doesn't drive me nuts anymore, outside of the fact that it just makes me want to play Jamboree less, due to the fact that I know the game is so slow-paced because of all these problems. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, the solution is easy. Just instead of playing 20 turns, play 15 turns. And my response to you is,
ew. No.
Look, I've been playing 20-turn rounds since the 90s. I can just feel the difference between a 15-turn round and a 20-turn round. It feels like I'm doing less. And this isn't just a problem for me, but think about the people who like to play 15-turn rounds. And now they have to drop down to 10 turns. And the people who only want to play 10 turns, which I think is crazy. I can't imagine you wanting to play a round of Mario Party that only lasts 10 turns. But if you are one of those people, you can't drop it down to anything. Your playtime has doubled and you can't do anything about it. So I don't think that is a valid solution to this problem. I think the valid solution to this problem is fixing the problem. Of course, the pacing isn't my only concern. It's probably my biggest concern, the thing that I hope they fix the most out of everything else. But at the same time, again, that's not the one and only flaw that it has. Going back to the minigames, I feel like there are way too many that were dedicated to the side modes or to motion controls. Like, one of the reasons why this minigame list is so lackluster is because of the fact that when you really look at what's available in the regular Mario Party mode, there's not as much as you'd think. Like, for a game that has 110 minigames, it certainly doesn't feel like it. I mean, when Mario Party Superstars had 100 minigames, the biggest minigame selection ever, outside of, top 100, but still, almost all of those minigames were in the regular mode. Very few were dedicated to the side modes. That is not the case for Jamboree. There are 45 minigames if you do not count the side modes, the motion controls, the showdown minigames, or the boss minigames. I've seen lots of lists include the boss minigames as well as the showdown minigames. I get it because you do play them in the regular Mario Party mode, but I personally do not count them. If you would like to add them back in, it's 5 for the boss minigames and then 10 for the showdown minigames, so that's an extra 15, so that's up to 60. But I don't know, when you can't play all the boss minigames on any single map, like if you're playing Mario's Rainbow Castle, you can't even play a boss minigame, then I feel like you can't count it. And the same kind of goes for a showdown minigame, because if I'm always playing Mario, and my friend Zach plays as Luigi, and his wife plays as Peach, and our friend Tom plays as Waluigi, that cancels out 4 of the showdown minigames as possibilities for us to play. So they're disabled the same way that a motion minigame would be disabled, which is why I don't really count them. If you go back to the battle minigames back in the day when they just had battle minigames specifically for the battle minigame, you could play those on any map, nothing would disable them, they were always available no matter what, so I think there's a big difference here. You may disagree, that's fine, but for me personally, there are 45 minigames in the main mode of Mario Party. Oh, and speaking of battle minigames, that would technically be another way to solve the problem of minigames that are too long. Like if Hot Cross Blocks was just a battle minigame, that would make so much more sense. Then you're building tension throughout the entire minigame as opposed to just playing a really long but normal minigame. And even if you're losing in this really long minigame, you're still battling for second or third place because you're probably gonna get more than just 2 or 3 coins. And yeah, that might mean that you play it less, but hey, battle minigame spaces are on every single board. They would still be playable on every single map, unlike so many other minigames in Super Mario Party Jamboree. And the thing that drives me crazy is the fact that most of these minigames could be played in the main mode of Mario Party. They don't have to be locked behind anything. Like a boss battle doesn't have to be limited to the specific map you play on. All the coin collecting minigames you get in the Coinathlon could be actual minigames inside the normal mode of Mario Party. Even the motion minigames don't absolutely require motion. Like you don't have to tilt a Joy-Con, you can just use the joystick. The showdown minigames already have a freaking solution of, well, if you're playing as this character, then we're just gonna have a shadow version pop up for you in either free play or the main story mode. Why not do that for regular Mario Party mode? Why is it if I continuously play as a certain character, I don't get to play their special little bonus minigame? Like, if you love playing as Yoshi, but then you also love Yoshi's Showdown minigame, you shouldn't have to decide between the two. Clearly, you're able to do both because we've seen it in other modes. Like, it honestly kind of drives me nuts that there's so many things, there are easy fixes already within the game that they just didn't choose to implement, despite the solution was already there. It was right there.
Do you see what I see?
'Cause it was right there. Like speeding up the characters, you already did with the computers. Why didn't you have that option available for the normal people? You already gave us fake Jamboree buddies for free play in the story mode. Why didn't you just do that for the regular mode? And you know what? Some of the updates that I want aren't necessarily in this Mario Party game, but they were in a previous Mario game. Like, yeah, I typically shit on Super Mario Party any chance I get, but I will say the one thing they did right that Jamboree does wrong is they don't give you that little mini pad where you can just instantly click on a button and then all of a sudden all the options pop up of like where you can go, as opposed to making you walk to them. Why they didn't do that for Jamboree So you made me walk every single time. If I wanted to go to check the records or edit my card, I always had to walk and then walk all the way back to the hot air balloon if I wanted to play after I just got done adjusting settings or looking at records or whatever it was that I was doing. Like, if they updated it now, it wouldn't be a big deal for me because I've already bought everything. I've already done my card. Like, I usually just play Mario Party if I'm playing Super Mario Party Jamboree. I don't go to any of those other locations. But for people who are still just buying the game, this is an absolute update they should do because it is so annoying to go back and forth between all these little locations. Or the cards as a perfect example. I don't know why they just gave us these stupid cards to decorate with all these stickers and to make weird stuff with. Like, I really liked in Superstars where you showed people's favorite board, favorite Mario Party, favorite mini games. Like, obviously you couldn't do favorite Mario Party again, but I'd like to see what someone's favorite board is. I'd like to see what someone's favorite mini games are. That's way better than just seeing Waluigi eat Peach's asshole or whatever the fuck is going on in these cards.
Oh, that Wiggler looks like a penis. Sorry, kiddies. Daddy needs some alone time.
Like, just give us some sort of update that makes these cards actually feel like they have value, like there's an actual purpose, as opposed to just random decor. And then don't even get me started on the Jamboree Buddy. While I do enjoy the Jamboree Buddy, while I do think it is a vast improvement from the version that they had in Super Mario Party, it still just feels too overpowered. It feels like they had a really good idea and it's still kind of fun, but that fun is also kind of ruined by just some of the dumb shit. Like, honestly, I don't even know if we should have to play a mini game to get this Jamboree Buddy because of how easily it could be stolen from us. I do like the fact that it could be stolen from us because if the best person at Mario Party continuously wins the Jamboree Buddy, that puts them at a huge advantage. But again, why is the minigame so damn long when it could be so easily stolen? And why aren't there more safeguards on the Jamboree Buddy to make him less overpowered, just like the stealing aspect? I mean, the amount of times I've seen somebody get 4 stars with the same Jamboree Buddy is just ridiculous. I think if you buy 2 stars with the Jamboree Buddy, you should immediately get rid of him. Buying 2 items, that's not super OP. Landing on a space and getting double the effects, that's not too OP. Even Boo isn't that OP because there is no reverse mushroom or like a quick like, oh, I'm gonna go to this Boo and then this Boo like immediately right afterwards. There's usually a big gap between the Boos if there's even multiple on the map. But I've seen so many people buy 2 stars and then the next star isn't too far away and they either get it on that exact same turn or they'll get it on the next turn, possibly the last turn, depending on the situation. They need to come up with some sort of solution where if you buy 2 stars, all of a sudden the buddy gets kicked to the person in last or the person nearby you or just someone that's random. You shouldn't be able to buy 4 or more stars with the exact same buddy. They need to absolutely have some sort of safeguard so that does not happen. Yeah, maybe it's even the fact that they just don't allow you to. They're like, oh, you've already bought 2 stars, you can't do it again. Something like that. I mean, the reason that Mario Party has become my favorite multiplayer franchise over the years is because of the balance. Because unlike when I play Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. Or a lot of other multiplayer games, everyone has a decent chance at Mario Party. We may not have an equal of chance because I am better, but still, you at least have a decent chance because of chance time, because of strategy, because of so many different elements in this game. I mean, the worst rounds of Mario Party are the ones where someone is winning by a lot and it just seems like you have absolutely no hope unless you land on chance time. And even when I'm the winning person in that scenario, it's just kind of boring. Now, I don't think you should be able to turn off the buddy system because it does seem like it's so integrated with this game. It is like the big new mechanic essentially of this version of Mario Party. And I just did a whole video on how I'm not really all super for customization, but they need to do something. They need to fix the problem that the game has and not give people the option to just remove it if it's just a problem. No, fix it because what you have is good, it's just problematic.
Alright, this video was recorded before Jamboree TV got announced, which I do consider DLC, so just imagine that I'm saying more DLC in this last segment. More DLC. Or good DLC.
And that's why I honestly don't even know if I want DLC for this game, because if they aren't going to do these updates, I'm not that excited about the potential for DLC. Because again, even though I like the game, there are so many problems, there are so many things that go against it that makes this Mario Party kind of a middle tier Mario Party for me. Which I find weird because I think there are so many great things about this Mario Party game. Things that are much better than some of the titles that I would probably rank above it, but it also has bigger problems. If they fixed all the things that I just complained about, it would definitely jump up probably to the top 4. Definitely the top 4 if they fixed everything that I'm talking about. If they just fixed the pacing, might be top 5. It just kind of depends. Along with the no rooms found glitch that's been plaguing the game since the very beginning. I still don't know why that happens or if anybody knows why that happens, but it's definitely an issue. So yeah, if they fix those things, I would actually want DLC. But right now, I mean, if they're not gonna fix things, I really kind of just want them to move on and do the next Mario Party instead, because I don't want to play new boards with all these problems. Now, originally, I was gonna say that I don't think these updates have really much of a chance. Maybe the characters moving around at a quicker pace could possibly be a thing, but when I recorded this, it just felt like they had moved on, they were done, it had been too long. But now with Jamboree TV getting announced, I could possibly see some of these things getting changed. But I still see a lot of the stuff not getting changed, like the buddy stuff. I really don't see the buddies getting fixed because I feel like they felt like they did a really good job and they don't need to fix it. But if they do, absolutely bring on the DLC, and that's what my next video is going to be about.
But what updates do you think the game needs? Do you agree with the updates I suggested? Do you agree with the updates that are fake on the TV screen? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I'll catch you later.